sir. Morning all. My name's Tom Debney. Come from a consultancy called Expense Reduction Analysts, and I apologise this morning. I'm going to play a little bit with your minds. There's going to be a little bit of a maths lesson, and there's nothing worse than that first thing in the morning, but you know, why not? For those of you who are accountants, I know there's one in the room. Some of this they may have already seen, but so be it. My background, I had the dream job as a first job. That was as a research and development brewer, and I apologise because we were responsible for fosterising the world. Later in my career, I ended up running a section of the Herx Chemical Company based out of Frankfurt in Germany, and had the joy of looking after all the global key accounts. So a lot of what we will see this morning comes from partially those days. As I said to you, I wanted to talk to you about profit. You've got a 40% margin, and you go around and provide your clients with a discount, 5%, you'll have to sell 14.3% more in order to make the same profit. Every sales rep ought to have this embedded in his mind, and everybody who is running a sales team needs to be absolutely conscious of what a price cut means. I have a client who is a very large mining company that sells iron ore, and I enjoy the press with the drop from $120 a tonne to $55 or $60 a tonne. Their actual calculation is built around a price of about $70 a tonne, so they don't really care that much at 55 when you can double your production. Sell 100% more, you can cut your prices by 10%. So, numbers. Most people struggle with numbers. So I've thought this morning, to get your minds working, we'd have a little bit of a test here. Bat and ball costs $1.10 in total. Bat's $1 more than the ball. Anyone want to take a punt at what the ball costs? No? That's it. 5 machines, 5 minutes to make 5 widgets. How long is it going to take 100 machines? It's 5 minutes still. There's a patch of lilies. The patch doubles every day in size. It takes 48 days to cover the lake. How long does it take to cover half?
24.
No, Bruce had it absolutely right. 47. It's doubling. This is the problem. And by the way, you're just this is all out of INSEAD, by the way. So I'm not that intelligent, Graham, and I'm a very good plagiariser. But this is the stuff that comes up every day when your staff go out and start talking to people. Your understanding of the numbers that you're talking about and the way that you're using them is critically important. So for those of you who missed there, the answers. 10, 124 are the most common answers from about 70-odd% of the population. So what's better, a 50% discount or a 50% bonus? Very, very few people understand or are good at percentages. The natural thing for people to do is always to select the largest percentage. So, if you're offered 50% more product or a 35% price reduction, most people will go for the 50%. because it's bigger, but it's not. So when you get that extra bit on your cereal in Woolworths where they put 25% more versus the other way of looking at it is how much did it cost me per 100 grams, that's why the consumers are, Choice, etc., are pushing the supermarkets for that 100 gram. That's at a consumer level, but start to apply that in your business. And I work for a group where we look for and spend a lot of time looking for extra profit in what people are offering us. Too often you see the 50% more versus the price, and the price is actually better to take. 100% more product for the same price actually means half. And 100% less means the product's free. And I have heard a sales rep offer me 100%. And it took him a little while to understand he just giving it away. We have a tagline in our business. 50% of something's better than 100% of nothing. Right, we operate on a shared model for savings we find in businesses. And that's why we use that. This comes from the Institute of Chartered Accountants. They run, if any of you have the opportunity to do the CFO for the Future series, it's well worthwhile doing if you're in the accounting side of business. Why? Because you need to align your sales teams with what the finance people are talking about. Finance people are probably talking about margin, which is cost up. How many of you get your sales rep comes in and tells you, I've just made a 50% saving? By the way, these are on the same, exactly the same numbers. Selling it for 150, the profit's 50, the cost therefore is 100. That difference can cost your business an absolute fortune if you're not aligned. Because sales rep came in and talked about, I just made a 50%, and he'll call it margin, when he actually made a 33.3% margin. And I don't know how many times I've seen it. And I continue to see it. You know, at budget time, and we should all be past that by now, but you need to make sure you're all talking exactly the same figure. Most sales reps, by the way, can't get past that. So when you tell the sales rep the cost of your product, he's just started working backwards. I'm not saying don't tell them the cost of your product, but make sure you understand that that's what it is. And you have a common set of messages and a common set of communications within your organisation. That's the price discounting model for those of you who wanted it in a lot more numbers so that it might get closer to some of your margins. Up at anything below 20%, don't go discounting it. This one, on the other hand, is what happens the other way. You've got a 20% margin. You can discount, if you can increase your price by 2%, you can sell about 9% less. This is why and what drives premium pricing and what you're looking for whenever you can premium price. those early discussions when you're budgeting and all the rest, some of these things can be really, really useful. If any of you want these charts, they're available, we can put them through too. That's a bit about that. Just a quick run through about ERA. We are known as Expense Reduction Analysts. We believe you, as clients, can achieve more. We've got a whole group of guys who know businesses inside out. They've got experience over many, many years. And the difference between a penny saved and a penny earned in a business is really quite large. Our job's to help free up capital. So what we're looking at when you're put under pressure to find that extra $40,000 or 40%, extra 10% of sales growth, you can actually find that by removing non-core expenses far quicker, freeing up capital. So we're only looking in non-core areas where there tends to be the least knowledge in organisations. Thanks. I'll hand back to Glenn and let him take you